Hi everyone, it's Rose from Patient Therapies, and as you know, I am doing 12 diets in 12 months. This is my 3-week check in for Vegetarian Month. In Vegetarian Month, I have taken the baby step that a lot of people do when they're experimenting with a vegetarian diet, and I eliminate meat and fish. Now, that's where we get a lot of protein. And so, when you step into a vegetarian diet, one of the first questions people ask is, where are you going to get your protein? Gladly, there's been a lot of research out there that has concluded vegetarians are at no risk for a protein deficiency as long as they eat enough variety. Now, with a vegetarian diet, it is very different than a meat-based diet. So you start learning to cook with grains like quinoa and couscous. And maybe for some of you, even cooking rice is something new. I like to make stir fries. We probably make a stir fry once or twice a week. And I also use tofu at least once a week. You don't want to overdo the soy products, so there's a tip for you. Soy products are estrogenic and they can promote the growth of certain breast cancers that are estrogen based. So I advise people to add soy products to their diet because they have some very beneficial health properties, but too much is not a good thing. So 2-3 times a week. Now, another tip I have for you is to learn one new recipe a week. And that seems like nothing, right? So if you're working, this is kind of ideal. You can ease into the vegetarian diet and learn one new recipe a week. And before you know it, by the end of a month, you have 4 new recipes. So if you think about it, most people rotate about 5 to 6 different meals every single week. And so within a month, you're going to have 4 new dinner recipes. Now, at the end of 2 months, which, you're probably thinking, 2 months? Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. So at the end of 2 months, out of those 8 new recipes, you might have 3 that you really like. And that is how I stepped into eating as a vegetarian years ago. So I have been a vegetarian in the past, and recently I have not been. I do like fish, I do like eggs, and I do like chicken. Beef, not so crazy about. So I have a skill set as far as preparing grains, as far as making stir fries, and as far as having a good base for having good recipes to get through this month. So I'm going to share some of those recipes with you in another blog or maybe a video. So for me, this month was easy, and I was able to step into it with confidence. And I decided, you know what, but I'm not your average person, so let me design some nutrition tip videos for you if you don't know how to crush garlic, if you don't know how to chop an onion, if you don't know how to use a cast iron pan. So I post a simple nutrition tip nearly every single day, and hopefully those will help you build some skills that are useful as you move into a vegetarian diet. One of them is how to determine if an avocado is ripe and how to cut it up. And I eat an avocado almost every day. They are so nutritious. They've got great healthy fats in them, and they go with a lot of different foods. They're also a terrific standalone snack. So those are some of the tips that have helped me through. And I would recommend that if you're going to start with a grain, I would start with couscous because you can buy it in a box and it's super easy to make. You boil the water, add the oil, dump in the grain, turn off the heat. It's done in 5 minutes. And it's nutritious. If you want to get serious about some of the other grains that are a little harder to cook, I highly recommend that you get a rice cooker. It will cook up quinoa perfectly. Now, I also have an Instant Pot, which I've used for my quinoa and other grains. And that takes all the guesswork out of it. I used to cook rice on a stove with water, and I had my own little formula to get it to turn out good. But when I got a rice cooker, I realized I didn't know what good rice was until I got my rice cooker. So it's a gem to have in your kitchen. It makes that step in your vegetarian path easier. I would also recommend that you exercise regularly. A vegetarian diet has so much nutrition in it, but that nutrition isn't going to reach your cells very easily just by everyday activity. You need to exercise because that expands your blood volume. It flushes all your tissues, not only helps bring nutrients to all the cells, but it also helps with that extra blood flow pick up the waste products that those cells are pushing off and bring them back to get rid of. So I highly recommend that you exercise 3 times a week. I am doing P90X three times a week. Now, clearly, I am not a superstar on P90X, but it gets me exercising an hour every time I put in one of the discs, and I feel terrific. It's amazing how quickly our bodies get stronger and stronger. So give it a try, or any one of the other, like do yoga, or go to your sports club, or lift some weights. Strength, I would think, is a great place to start, and as your muscles feel stronger, then maybe you can start doing stuff on the treadmill. You'll be ready for more endurance exercise. So exercise is another really good tip. If you want nutrition tips, I've made a series of videos that you can go and check out, and hopefully those will be helpful to you. Okay, I also blog about this whole journey, 12 diets in 12 months. And I have to say, my conclusion for a vegetarian diet, oh, wait a minute, we need to talk about protein. Protein, as long as you eat enough variety, you're all set. It has been widely debunked that people are afraid they're not going to get protein in a vegetarian diet. And the key is to eat a lot of variety. You need to get comfortable with eating greens, eating tofu, and an assortment of vegetables. So you're going to have to expand your boundaries for your vegetables, and you'll be fine. Now, I also am tracking my nutrient intake because I want to make sure that I'm getting, is this really true? And I've backed it up. I have tracked every single bite of food in MyFitnessPal, and I use their app. I do the premium plan because that breaks down more of the nutrient analysis for us. And then I have my chart for the RDA for a woman my age. And I have found protein is absolutely not a problem, and that some of the nutrients are a bit of an issue. That being said, just because a meat-based diet provides you plenty of protein does not mean it provides you with all the nutrition you need, particularly calcium, vitamin D, iron, and B12. Now, calcium is abundant in dairy products, so you would think I'm getting plenty of calcium. I eat a lot of cheese. On this past month, I've been eating cheese every day. Not an over, like maybe 2 slices at lunch, or I'll even have it as a snack when I'm hungry. However, I'm not even coming close to the RDA for cheese intake. So, I said cheese, I mean calcium intake. So I strongly recommend that you would take a calcium supplement. If you want supplement recommendations, go to patienttherapies.com, go to the supplement page, and I will guide you through how to figure out what nutrients you need as a vegetarian. I have 7 recommendations. But calcium is not one that leaves, meat eaters are also in need of calcium supplementation. So another one under that category that it's a problem for everybody is vitamin D. As you know, the sunlight helps our bodies convert vitamin D into a usable form. Very important to have enough vitamin D for bone development. Vitamin D is also an anti-inflammatory. So it's not a bad idea to have vitamin D supplemented either in your vegetable milks or in your regular dairy milk that you eat. or drink, sorry. And so if you're not getting plant-based milk that has vitamin D in it, I would strongly recommend that you take a vitamin D supplement. It is a fat-soluble vitamin, so be careful not to overdo your supplement with vitamin D. Okay, as far as being out in the sun, if you work outside, you're probably getting plenty of sunshine every day, then you don't need to worry about a vitamin D supplement. So it's one of those things you have to think about. You know, I live in a northern climate. I'm not outside long enough every day to get that benefit. In the wintertime, there's a lot of cloudy days as well. So even if I'm outside, I won't be getting that benefit. You need the sunshine. Okay, so moving on, the other nutrient that falls under a recommendation for everyone, not just vegetarians, is B12. B12 is not very high in any food group. You see it higher in things like egg yolks and beef and liver, but B12 is still kind of hard to get. As a vegetarian, the best vegetarian source for B12 is nori, N-O-R-I. It is a seaweed. You might recognize on your sushi, there's a black wrap that's around it. That is made out of nori, typically. And it's high in vitamin B12, it's higher in iron, it's very nutritious for you, but it still won't be enough. So take a B complex vitamin. The beauty of the B complex vitamin is that the B vitamins are synergistic. They help each other get absorbed better and work better. So take a B complex. B complex, it's water soluble, and you will not likely overdose unless you're taking mega doses of this vitamin. Okay, so other nutrients, there's 4 others, and I discuss those in a blog. Should a vegetarian take supplements? And the bottom line for me, the answer is yes. There are a few categories. There's iodine, because if you're not using table salt, you're only using sea salt, iodine's going to be an issue for you. Iron might be an issue. That's something you need to talk to your doctor about. Your body does recycle iron, so it's a call that your doctor needs to make. Just because you're anemic and feeling tired does not mean that you're low on iron. So that's when you talk to your doctor about. And there are a few others, like omega-3s. That's primarily found in marine life, like salmon and sardines. And you're not going to get it in abundance in any form in the vegetarian spectrum. Now, some people will argue, oh, well, walnuts have ALA, and your body can convert ALA into some of these omega-3s like DHA and EPA. That's true, but the conversion rate is really low. You shouldn't count on eating a bunch of walnuts to meet your omega-3 requirement. And the reason I stress this is that omega-3s are really important for your brain development and for hormonal systems in your body. If you're not getting enough, it can really make you feel pretty lousy. Now, there is, fortunately, a vegan omega-3 supplement. Our wonderful scientists have realized that there is a seaweed that they can get. It's called algal oil. And anyway, there's a vegan omega-3 supplement. It's plant-based. And so there you go. You can maintain a nutritious vegetarian or vegan diet with supplementation. I believe that supplementation is important. Not every diet's perfect, and if you're taking some supplements, it helps fill in the gaps. Okay, so my other check-in thing I wanted to tell you about was my road race. I did a 5K. I've been exercising 3 times a week at home, doing videos like P90X or T25, or it's enough to get my blood pumping for 30 minutes to an hour, and that is driving the nutrition to my cells. And I didn't train for my 5K. I picked a shamrock run because it's March, and running a road race is always a lot of fun. You always have characters. You can check it out in my blog. So I had a lot of fun. I set an arbitrary goal of about 12 minutes a mile because I hadn't been training, and that's pretty slow. But for someone who hasn't run in a while, I figured I could do it, and I did. I ran 11 minutes and 55 seconds a mile, and I didn't stop. I felt very good. I never felt like I was going to get sick. I didn't feel so exhausted that I was dragging myself across the finish line. I had fun. And so every month I'm going to do a 5K, and that'll be a lot of fun. Now, vegetarian month for me, I found to be pretty easy. And that's because I have a history of being a vegetarian, and so I have a storehouse of recipes. So I am going to share my 10 favorite vegetarian recipes with you at the end of the month. And then, after week 4 is done, I will announce which diet I am choosing for April. If you have any requests for specific diets, please let me know. And if there's any questions that I can answer about nutrition or diet, feel free to reach out. There's a variety of ways you can do it. See the links below. And until next week, I look forward to seeing you. And remember, be kind to yourself.